Welcome to Unlearning, where we go behind the curtain for an insider's perspective on the theater industry, break down the buzzworthy conversations on social media, and challenge the stigmas that hold us back. I'm Veronica Stern, and together, we're unlearning and redefining what it means to thrive in the business. Now, it's time to rewrite the script. Hello, wonderful people of the world, and welcome to the Unlearning Podcast. Today we have an amazing guest who I have been friends with for almost 10 years, Drew Elhamalawy. You might know him from being in Queen of Versailles, pre-Broadway. You also might know him from We Live in Cairo, but I'm pretty sure if you're on Instagram, you probably know him from his incredible photographs, Drew X Photography. Is that right? Drew X Photography, and he's our guest today, and we're having an amazing conversation coming. But before we get into that, I kind of wanted to talk about some of my favorite shows that I saw this year, as I am filming this at the end of the year. I saw, I think, 10 shows this year. Let me talk about what my top of the year were. So really crazy. I saw a lot of shows out of town this year. When I was in Atlanta, I saw The Preacher's Wife, not in my top at all. It was wonderful, but it's not in my top. But I also went to Boston this summer, randomly saw that the new Gatsby, the Florence Welsh one of, what is the name of her band? Whatever, you know, the I need to forget, so take me to Florida, her. So I saw The Great Gatsby. Oh, sorry, it's just called Gatsby. Solea Pfeiffer was in it. Who else was in this? Oh, Powell, Isaac Cole Powell was in it. So interesting to see a show pre-Broadway, possibly. I don't know. I saw it. It was interesting. I would put it in my top because it was very different. My top show of the year, The Notebook. Sorry, guys. Loved this show so much. I literally cried. It is a crime that it has closed, but I'm sure it's going on tour, so go see that when it's on tour. Also, an incredible show that I saw this year, Cats the Jellicle Ball. Oh my God, you guys. This was another one that I just happened upon a ticket for free. Insane. I've heard rumors that this is coming to Broadway. If it is, don't miss it. It's amazing. My absolute number one top show of the year, Sunset Boulevard with Nicole Scherzinger, and I got this sickening vintage playbill that's all black. I think it's so cool. Nicole Scherzinger was so amazing. Sorry, Nicole, where do I get this hat? Scherzinger. Oh my God. Slayed me. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time, okay? The entire time. I was in the last seat of the theater. It was amazing. I don't know if I'm going to go back to see it anytime soon. I definitely want to see it with Mandy Gonzalez and maybe Caroline Bowen, but just, it was amazing. But this is a really hard year for revivals, so we'll see how it fares at the Tony Awards. And yeah, there were some other shows, but I'm not going to talk about them because they didn't wow me or anything. But yeah, I'm very excited for what 2025 has to bring for shows. And I'm very excited for what 2025 has to bring for the Unlearning Podcast. This is our first episode. So if you like it, please subscribe. Please like it. Please follow me on Instagram at Veronica Stern so we can chat and we can talk, and at That Mixed Chick on TikTok, because that's where our best conversations happen, TikTok. And yeah, please enjoy this conversation with Drew. We get into so many amazing things, and I hope you love it. You know about Gypsy. I know you know about Gypsy.
I love Gypsy. Gypsy is one of my favorite musicals. No.
Oh.
But I am waiting to see it where I can make a whole day out of it. You know,
Why?
Because Gypsy is one of those shows, and I think this cast is epic.
Yeah.
That I kind of want to,
just,
assemble a group, get a dinner, go see the show, get a drink after.
I feel that.
Have a real good time.
So
You'll have a real good time.
Oh, sir.
Yeah.
Whoa. Why did I sound like that? Anyways,
well, it's 10 in the morning.
It's literally 1 p.m.
Oh, there's a clock right there.
Yeah.
Look at that.
All right. So there's some drama on TikTok about Gypsy right now because they've canceled four shows.
Which is crazy.
No, that's a lot.
It's a lot. I'm sure they're losing a lot of money.
They're probably losing a lot of money, but you don't know any tea. I just want to like put that out there. You don't know any tea about this. We are literally just talking from like what we know in the industry. It just opened like last week.
Mm-hmm.
So is the problem that Audra's sick and like they haven't rehearsed her understudy yet and there's not enough time? Or like what's the tea? Because canceling almost a week of shows is actually insane.
I don't know. I think that it's more than
Audra.
Just Audra who's sick. I think a lot of people are sick.
Mm-hmm.
There is COVID going around.
Oh, again?
Yeah.
Oof.
I remember for opening night they even had understudies on.
Oh, really?
For opening. Yeah.
Damn.
But it's also like it's complicated because when Audra's name is above the title,
they're literally calling it Audra Gypsy.
Yeah.
And if she's not there,
if she's not there, then they probably they lose.
Because who is her understudy or standby?
I don't know.
That was a mistake. I want to say that was a mistake,
Mm-hmm.
not casting somebody that is like of equal stature.
Mm-hmm.
Not that there is anybody of equal stature to Audra, but there's definitely like.
But there are names.
There are names
out there.
My mom had said, "Why didn't they?" Cast
Your mom would
LaShawne's?
be great in this.
My mom would be amazing. Hasn't sung a day in her life.
Look at that stage mom.
No, she said LaShawne's.
Mm-hmm.
Was LaShawne's available? What if we just
LaShawne's was
up?
at the opening and she posted a photo with Audra, and I don't know if you can like put the post up there.
Sure.
But she was like, people try to put us neck and neck to each other our entire careers. And I'm so happy that I can like stand by you and like support you.
Is she the standby?
No.
Oh.
Maybe she is. I don't know. I really have no idea.
Why? So that was a mistake. I don't know. I don't know why they didn't like cast like how they did it for Sunset Boulevard.
Right.
Like Mandy Gonzalez always has Tuesdays.
Caroline
Bowman, who's going on in like January.
Yes.
I'm excited about that.
I haven't seen that show either.
You haven't seen Sunset?
I haven't seen anything.
Okay. Well,
I was in a show.
With that, let's get into the show. Andrew, sorry.
Gag. Censored.
I used the government name. Sorry, everybody.
That's crazy.
Drew, welcome to the Unlearning Podcast.
You're going to unlearn how to say my name. Oof.
That's heavy.
Oof.
That is really heavy.
I know.
The reason why I still call you by your government name every so often.
That's how you met me.
Because I've known you for 10 years.
Crazy.
Yeah. I did the math. Did we meet in 2014 or 2015?
15.
Okay, so then 10 years coming this summer.
Crazy.
I know. Imagine knowing somebody for a decade.
Well, I know a lot of people for
yeah. Wait, you're like, bitch, I know somebody for 25 years. Like, stop. You're like not special. Whatever. I feel like I'm special. That's what
you are. I mean, our friendship is very specific.
It is very specific.
I feel like, for those of you who don't know, we met at a sleepaway camp doing little musical theater-y shows.
Yeah. But we weren't in the same show.
Yeah, we were. We literally did ragtime together.
No, ragtime, but like earlier in the summer when we first met, we weren't in the same show.
No. I was so scared. It was like my first summer back.
So, okay, wait, really quick. Welcome to the show, Drew. Thank you for being here. If you don't know Drew, you're about to know him. He's the best ever. Love him. Actor, photographer, assistant extraordinaire, assistant director, like literally runs the gamut. We will get into it all. Let's get back to French Woods, where it all began. Oh, I said the name.
Did you?
I did. French Woods.
Oh.
Should we say it?
I don't know. I
know. Okay, let's just get into it. Basically,
I don't claim her.
I don't claim her. I remember the day we met. Okay, we were in the Scott Theater or whatever they called it, and you were so nervous. And you were like, I don't remember if I walked up to you or you walked up to me, but you were like, hi. And I was like,
for context, I
was your first
haven't. Well, no, I went there when I was like a kid.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I went there 2011, 2012, 2013.
Wait.
And I know. And I just like loved theater and I loved musicals, but I was like so shy. So I like spent all of my time in like whatever the wood building place was.
No, you
and
didn't.
I like made benches, and actually that's I like started taking photography classes at Frenchwood.
No way. You said the name again.
Damn it.
It's hard not to. It just rolls off the tongue.
I know. But I was doing photography
Mm-hmm.
there. I was doing like wood building and all that stuff, like my first few years there. And then I took like 2 years off.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, hold on. I think I really like performing and I like being on a stage, but I don't necessarily have like this skill set that I want.
Right.
And I was like, I'm just going to go back there and I'm just going to do it.
And you did, because that summer was the summer that they were doing In the Heights. And I remember you coming up to me, or I came up to you, I don't remember, you were so nervous. I was like, oh, practice on me or something. And then he was like, lights up in Washington Heights, up at the break of day, I wake up and I got this little punk I gotta chase away. And I was like, oh my God, he's really good. He's really good.
You were like, wait, you could do this.
I was like, you're so good. Was that In the Heights summer?
Yeah.
Okay. You were insane. You were amazing. And then like we were friends then.
Instantly, yeah.
Instantly. And that was like, I guess that was early in the summer.
What show did you do that season?
I don't remember. Was it Urinetown?
Yes. No.
Or was it Legally Blonde?
No.
What was I was in Into the Woods.
No.
That was like the stock show.
Yes.
I remember
Yes.
I was like a lead role, and then I was like in the ensemble.
Yes.
Because I was in Honeymoon
Les
in Vegas.
Oh, Honeymoon in Vegas,
No,
yes.
not Les Mis. I never did Les Mis until I did the tour.
Brag.
Sorry. That was a little bit of a brag.
Brag.
Okay. But I don't remember what show I was in. The point is, we were not in the same show until we did Ragtime.
Love.
We were in Cab Troop together.
I never did Cap Troop.
Wait, what?
Never. Do you remember me? Did our friendship even evolve until after?
No, no. We were definitely friends at camp. You were in like remember that they used to call themselves? That group of people?
I don't
B-Nox.
claim that. What is that?
Big name on campus. That's what the kids used to say at camp.
I don't know if I was part of that.
You were definitely adjacent. You were B-Nox adjacent. By the way,
great.
I do not claim B-Nox. I did not make that up, and I do not claim that. It was a
The Mean
weird
Girls.
thing. It was a weird thing to say.
I've never heard that until sitting right here.
You're lying.
No, I swear.
Okay, well, the long story short,
I was friends with everyone.
you were really
I'm still friends with everyone.
You are still friends with everyone. It's one of your best qualities.
Tell me more.
It really is. It really is. Like your ability to talk to anybody, be completely personable with them. It is what has made you really successful so far, which is like a really good segue, honestly, into like our next thing, which is like, obviously, Frenchwoods was not the place that birthed your love of theater, right?
No.
What was that?
I mean, I was very, very, very fortunate to grow up in New York City.
Yes.
And I don't think I realized how fortunate I was until like later on in life. I don't know. I have really great parents. Like I have great parents who always let me explore any interest I've ever wanted. And I don't know, like Broadway was like so accessible, and New York City public schools like do trips to Broadway shows.
So you went to a performing arts high school. Was that a public school?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. At school, you did performing arts. Was it like choose your major like LaGuardia was, or was it like...
Yeah.
So were you in theater?
Yeah, so LaGuardia doesn't have a musical theater program, but my school did. So I was like, I'm going to do musical theater at this school. But the musical theater program there was like, it was awesome. It just, people didn't take it seriously.
Oh, really? That surprises me.
Yeah. I think people just didn't understand what a gift it was to be able to do the arts. And I think I really loved it. Like I was really passionate about it, and I saw like livelihood in it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I just like saw how like art literally saves people, and like my commute was so long to get to school. So like I
Uh-huh.
was always listening to cast albums. I was like obsessed with everything Sondheim, everything Heather's.
Oh
I
my
loved The
God.
Color Purple. Like
Yeah.
it was just like it was an itch that like I just couldn't stop scratching. But also like every element of theater intrigued me. I was like, for a while I wanted to be a lighting designer. I like wanted to be a director.
Yeah.
But being a performer seemed like the easiest way to get involved.
Yeah.
Because there were so many opportunities at a performing arts high school to like perform.
So with all of that in mind, because I feel like everything that you're saying about like what intrigued you about theater, you've brought into your adult life and your adult career, which is like really interesting. And I don't think a lot of people are able to say that they are really able to be an actor, but also be behind the table and also, you know, do these side quests, for lack of a better word. So when you got to college, you studied musical theater in college.
Yes, I did.
But you also got your master's.
I did. Shout out Shenandoah.
It's Shenandoah.
That was the song that we got to sing.
Wait, it's from a musical, no? A musical called Shenandoah?
Yeah.
So when you went to Shenandoah, what was like your idea of like what success would look like there?
Ooh. I have to like go back into like my high school brain for a second. I was just like so like I'm recalling like the college process, and I'm recalling like being friends with you and being friends with like Jamie and being friends with like all these people who were also going through it.
And we were intense.
And it was a lot.
It was a lot.
But I flew to Chicago by myself. I flew to like all of these places by myself just to audition for schools. Like that is crazy. Why?
Why do you say why?
I think that spending a lot of money is a big old scam in a lot of ways. Just like knowing what my career is now, and obviously like I had to do all of those things to get where I am. But
of course,
in my head, I'm like, okay, you're auditioning for 17 schools. You're going to get into
17.
Sure.
That's like the average.
Was like,
that's like the normal number.
It was like the normal number
that
with like Unifieds and
yeah.
MTCA and like all
Would
of
you
those...
say that like one of the things that now looking back, you're able to look at that and be like, maybe I didn't need to do all of that.
Yes.
Like really where you go to school, it matters. If you go to like a top school and you're lucky you went to school with a name, and now it even has more of a name, which is like why you invest in a place like that. And so yes, you worked your butt off and you auditioned for like 150 schools. I'm exaggerating, obviously. Are you able to look back and be like, but you know, my friends at CCM and my friends in Michigan, they learned the same exact thing.
Yeah, I also think that like my mistake with auditioning for schools so long ago, but was I'm nothing if not self-aware. And if I can look at a school's talent pool and their demographic and be like, do I fit in here? Do I have a skill set that can be a great attribute to this school? You know, like I don't think I took the time to assess. I think I let them assess me before I assess them.
And I think that's something that a lot of people fall into the trap. When you're 18 and you're going into musical theater and you're just like, I need to just be accepted somewhere. It doesn't matter where, I just need to be accepted. And like, when I get there, I'll get there. It's
like the sense of belonging. It's like, I want someone to want me. And then I'll make the decision whether or not I want to be there.
Ooh, fire. That is fire. I am a Leo.
What
does that mean?
Just I'm spicy.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm not, spicy. No hate to astrology people. I just like,
Well, what's your sign?
Pisces.
Okay.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I only care about what Leos mean.
Okay. The point is, there's so many nuggets here. And I think that, like, a lot of what I want this podcast to be is, like, reflecting on, obviously we're so early in our careers, you know, but what we are not early in is, like, being able to look back and be like, what was that?
Right.
What was that? Like,
what was that?
And, like, how that has, like, affected us today. And I think the, like, college theater stuff is, like, huge part of, like, why I look at things today and I'm like, am I wanting this opportunity because, like, I just want to feel accepted, or do I want it because, like, I want to do something with this and I want to grow and it will help me to grow?
Well, that also, like, in college, I feel like in these, like, programs, a lot of the time it's programmed in a way where it's like, this is the curriculum. And there were so many times in college where I was like, how do I break free from this? How do I break free from this mold that was already placed here? And I feel like I've been doing that in a really authentic way to, like, who I am and like the kind of artist that I am and the kind of art that I want to make and the kind of art that I want to do. I feel like college is a great place to, like, fuck up.
Yeah.
It is a great place to, like, get creative and
take
risk and be bold. And I even think that, like, when I was in college, I shied away from that. I was like,
you think you did? I don't think you, I mean, from what I know of, like, obviously I wasn't there with you, but from what I saw and, like, what you shared with me, you took risks. Like,
100%.
You did something that I think a lot of people don't do, which is, like, tell yourself, hey, I need to, like, make the most of my time while I'm right here and take opportunities like getting your master's degree, which I want to talk about. But I would say that you definitely did take risks.
Yeah, I think I'm just
unless you're thinking of a different
No,
way.
I mean, like, looking back at it, I'm like, yeah, for sure. I think I treated college as college. You know, I like to party.
Well, yeah,
I like to have fun. I like to be with my friends and all that stuff, which I'm like, yeah, did that. I feel like I could have spent more time. No, I don't regret anything. But, like,
yeah,
in my head, I'm like, I think I'm thinking for, like, right now where I'm like, time is so hard to get a hold of.
What do you mean by that?
I feel like I'm just like, I'm a busy guy.
You are very busy.
And for me to, like, really nurture my creative mind, I feel like I need time. And I need, like, time at my desk and time to, like, plan out and plot. And
did you feel that, like, what you're saying is that time in college you wish you had spent more time, like, enjoying the time that you have?
Like, the time that I was, like, at Waffle House, why did I not bring my computer with me?
Yes, but but do you think that those experiences colored how you are today?
Of course.
So, like, I don't think that you can look back on that and be
I'm
like,
awesome.
Why didn't I bring my computer to Waffle House? Why didn't I read that book a little bit harder? Like,
No,
I
sure.
honestly think, like, everything that you did, and, like, I'm talking about myself too and people in general, like, and of course, like, the pandemic happened during school, which greatly changed, I think, the course of a lot of people's lives that were in college at the time. But yeah, I think that
I will say, like, the pandemic was a period of time where I was like, time to buckle up and get creative. And I think I did exactly that. Like, I really was like, photography was like,
ooh, yeah. Oh, okay. Can we talk about the master's really quick?
Yeah.
What is your master's in?
I have a Master's of Science degree in Performing Arts Leadership and Management.
What? And when did you start that?
I started that I started taking classes for it my sophomore year of college.
Right. So as, like, a second year, what made you say, I need to do this thing and I need to, like, double up my workload and buckle in and, like, try and do this?
I just think that I'm someone who, like, loves to learn
Yeah.
and loves to like know things. And like, if I don't know it and someone else does, I'm like, okay, tell me how you know that.
Yes.
Tell me how I can know that.
Yeah.
Give me the books to read. Like,
Yeah.
I am so interested by like life, and especially like our career. It's like, yes, I understand, like going back to what I was saying before, yes, I understand performing and how to get on a stage and the opportunities that come with that. But like, who are the people that are giving you these opportunities and how do they make the money? You know, like, and how as a human being can I make the money?
So you did this master's degree. Was it like, did it add an extra year to school?
Yeah, it did.
But you left.
It turned out to be fine because of the pandemic.
Right.
So like, I really lucked out because Shenandoah was awesome. Shout out Shenandoah for the way they handled the pandemic and our curriculum and everything. But there was a point during COVID where I was like, fuck this. I am not dancing on Zoom.
Yeah.
I am not doing no singing lessons while my brother and sister are at school and my mom and dad are working in the next... Our house ain't that big. Yeah. So I like messaged the dean and I was like, let's chat.
But see, that goes back to you being such like, nobody would think to do that.
Right.
Like, what if I just called the dean up? Like, you are the type of person that does that, and I'm
because they got the answers.
That's why you are so successful, and that's why you have the opportunities that you have, because you're not afraid to just like call them up and say, "Hey, let's have a chat." Something that you have is not working for me, but let's figure out how we can make it work. Anyways, continue on.
But yeah, so the beginning of that master's degree was like a lot of like little classes here and there. Like I had to take like an accounting class and a statistics class, and those were just like sprinkled into like my undergrad curriculum. And then once I graduated with my BFA, it was like full send, full force. We're in grad school.
So was it an MFA?
It was an MS. So,
sorry, you said that. Okay.
Similar to like an MBA. It was, but it was all online. Right. So I immediately moved to New York, and I was like, the workload was a lot. It was like 6 essays a week, which was crazy. But I was like, fortunately, back with my family, so I didn't have to like have like a full-time job. Right. And I was like just in school, doing classes. It was crazy. It was crazy for a second.
It was, and I remember it being crazy for you, and I remember thinking to myself, like, God damn, but this is going to pay off. I know it's going to pay off.
I get, like, such an adrenaline high. Like, when I'm like, yes, an essay.
When you're busy.
When I'm busy, I'm like,
that
yes.
That is so crazy.
I know. I was, like, up at 3 a.m. with, like, my tea and my candle lit, and I was, like,
you are literally,
away.
like, I just had, like, an image of, like, an...
We just touch feet.
Holding space. I just had like an image of like the like revolutionary man sitting with a candlelight, and they're like quill, and you're like it's like Hamilton wrote the land.
You should see my journal.
You've showed it to me.
It's crazy.
It's packed,
and it's like cursive galore.
You have beautiful handwriting. That's a side note. I mean, okay. Obviously you have like a lot of stuff right now like going on, and I feel like in the last year and a half things have really been like popping off for you.
They've been really consistent,
which is lovely,
which is nice. Yeah.
I kind of want to talk about really quickly that in between time when it was like going out west to what was the thing that you did? Yes.
Yeah.
And, you know, doing
that was actually during my master's degree.
I remember.
Yeah.
So, like, talk about what it has been like entering the real world and kind of what the experience has been. I know that's kind of a broad question. But
yeah, for sure. I was really lucky to know New York already. Like, I didn't have to build a relationship with her.
Oh, What do you mean? Do you think that a lot of people that come here that are not like from New York?
Oh yeah.
There's a learning curve.
There's a learning curve, and I feel like
Yeah.
people are learning like how to not spend their money and what the trains are like and how to like make room for everyone in their life and also have a job. And
Right.
you know, it was New York is not easy. Like she's hard. But I didn't have to learn her in that way.
So do you think that allowed you to kind of not focus on like other things, but it allowed you the space to kind of be like, I want to do this, this, and this, and like I don't have to like also have the weight of like also moving to a new place.
It gave me the ability to like know time management. I'm someone who like is a little anal about time. I'm like,
which I love.
This is kind of crazy. Like today, I was like sitting at the train station for an hour before the train came.
An hour?
Yeah, because I was like, I cannot be late to this.
Aw, that's
but
sweet.
That's just like how my brain is wired.
I'm the same way.
And my biggest pet peeve is when people misuse my time, and I can't do that to other people.
No, me neither. But that's why we're friends.
Right.
Teedle-deedly.
But yeah, like stepping into the real world of things. I don't know. It was easy. I felt like.
Let me ask a more pointed question.
Yeah.
So just this year, you have like worked on 2 workshops or 3, or I'm thinking Lost Boys and then Queen of Versailles technically wasn't a
assisted
workshop.
directed Lost Boys.
Right.
I was in Queen of Versailles.
Right.
The workshop, and then we did Boston.
Yeah.
And then I just did We Live in Cairo.
So that's 4 things this year alone. And you also did the Met Gala.
I did the Met Gala.
Which is like iconic.
Crazy.
Sickening and iconic.
Crazy.
But like, okay, but like I feel like sometimes, especially with social media, we see these things and like we forget about like the things that came before it that like got us to this point, you know? And it's just funny because it's like, you know, I always see like these new people that like know you now, and I'm like, y'all didn't ride with him before.
Exactly.
Y'all didn't ride with him. Like, okay, this is the little antidote that I wasn't going to tell you about. So do you remember 7 years ago when we went to Central Park and you're like, can I take your picture?
Of course.
That was like the first time, right?
I did like headshots, yeah.
Yes. So you have also managed to create, would you call it a business?
Yeah.
Okay. You've managed to create this incredible business in photography. And where did that come from?
I don't know. People ask me that all the time.
Really?
All the time. And I really don't know. For as long as I can remember, it's like I've always had a camera on me. It's funny. My dad's from Egypt, and in all of like our home photos, like prior to like me being born and like when he first met my mom, like he has so many photos. We have like so many photo albums, and he has like a big video camera in a few of these photos. And I was like, oh, so like I think it's more of like a nostalgic thing.
Okay. Like, do you feel like you like to?
I like to capture moments and like, not only for me, but for other people. And because once a moment passes, you can't get it back.
Yeah.
And I think that what I do a really good job at, I think, is like making people feel comfortable and feel beautiful.
Oh my God.
And
you do an amazing job.
Thank you.
I'm going to like put some of the pictures as we're talking.
Thanks.
But more specifically in like, what would you say was like the big break picture that you took that like really got it going?
So the summer that I worked at the Muni, I did Joseph with Jessica Vosk and Jason Gauthier and Michael Kilgore.
Was that last summer? 2 summers ago?
3 summers ago. That was 3 summers ago.
No.
Yeah.
That was the same summer as Sweeney Todd, right?
Yeah.
But we didn't see each other there. Okay.
That was also the iconic Legally Blonde summer where everyone was posting their videos on TikTok. But yeah, I had just gotten back from like this big European vacation, and I was like, I'm so excited to work at the Muni. And I got there, first day, I saw Legally Blonde, and then they were like, okay, everybody test for COVID, and we're going to start rehearsals tomorrow. And I tested positive, and I was like, there's no way. But I didn't go to rehearsal, and I had to learn the entire show from my hotel room.
What's crazy is I also had COVID the day that I was supposed to.
That was the Omicron.
Was it?
I actually don't know. I think I made that up.
Fake news.
Fake news.
Ooh.
But yeah, so I got back into rehearsal, and then we were like in dress and
by the way, if you don't know what the Muni is, it's like this, I don't even call it summer stock, but I guess it is. It's a summer theater where I think they do like 8 shows a year, but basically you get there, you rehearse for like 6 days, the show goes up, and then it's over in like 5. It's like the craziest process.
It's boot camp.
It's also like 14,000 seats. It is like, it's the premier theater of like regional summer theaters.
For sure.
And it works like that too. And you get to work with like insane talent. So, sorry, Jessica Vosk was the narrator that year.
Yeah, she was the narrator that year, and I just like had my camera on me, and it first started because I like more so wanted to take photos of the like memory of it all,
the
like
experience.
Yeah,
it's an insane experience.
It was wild.
Yeah.
I like didn't want to like forget it. I wanted to put it in a scrapbook and be like, okay.
Yeah.
But then once I was like, oh shit, these are
good pictures.
These are good photos, and then I like went up to Jess and Jason and I was like, do you guys want photos? And they were like, yes, of course.
You're so like unapologetic, and you're just so like not scared, because like I like have fear, like even being like, can I take a picture for my like vlog? And I'm like, maybe I won't, but you just to like walk up to Jessica Vosk, okay, and you're like, can I take your picture?
She's queen.
It's amazing.
She also is so easy to photograph.
And you captured beautiful photos. So basically you took those photos, and then what happened?
I just took those photos and posted them, and I think they got like a little buzz. And then Jason became a really great friend. And I like moved to the city, and I actually I reached out to Jenny Anderson, who is Broadway's most iconic photographer.
Like backstage photographer though. Like I feel like Jenny,
she does like a lot of
does still like production photos, but she is like, when I think of her, I think of those like iconic like behind the scenes.
She's like Tony queen Awards. At capturing a moment.
Yes. Because I think there's a big difference.
Yeah.
Because like Murphy Made, obviously they come and they do all of our production photos, and those are like freaking iconic. But then there's Jenny, who does like the backstage photos that are like, you're right, capturing the moment. Yeah.
So I like looked up to her for a long time. I like loved her photos. I still love her photos. And I like DM'd her and I was like, can I assist you on anything?
Once again,
please,
just calling Jenny up and just asking.
Well, I mean, you just gotta ask for what you want.
But you also had some clout. Like you had those really successful pictures, and like you're good at it. So it's not like you're just like iPhone.
But it was like awesome because she was like, of course.
That's
like,
so cool.
Let's meet up. I need help on this shoot. And we kind of just like kikied, hit it off. And then little by little it just like kept falling into my lap. Michael Arden had
kept falling into my lap is crazy.
it did. No,
but it did. It really, really did.
And I like just I rode the wind.
So let's talk about Michael. What happened with that?
So Michael, I'm gonna say this story and then I'll tell you how we like met.
Okay.
Michael invited me to his New Year's Eve party.
New Year's Eve 2022? 2023?
2020. I don't know.
Okay.
One of them.
Yeah. It must have been 2022. Into 2023.
Yes. That's what it was. But he invited me to this New Year's Eve party, and he was like, bring your camera if you want. And I was like,
if you want.
Okay. So I brought my camera, and like that was also like a moment of being like, oh, I really love capturing joy. And like I was listening to this one podcast, and I don't know the name of it, but if I figure it out, I'll credit you somehow. But this person was saying no one ever wants to take a photo of something that they want to forget. And that like stuck with me. I was like, yeah, why would I ever want to take a photo of something that I want to forget? You know, like it kind of is like engraved in your memory a little bit. And I love gifting people photos.
It's special.
Yeah, our closing night or our opening night of Queen of Versailles in Boston, I was like, oh my God, what do I get everyone? It was a big cast, and I was like, what do I get everyone? And then I like went through like my photo gallery, and I was like, I have an individual photo of every single person from this process.
Beautiful touch.
Yeah.
Okay, back to Michael.
Yeah, back to Michael.
You took photos at the New Year's Eve party.
Yeah, but I met him.
Well, you didn't take photos. You were invited.
I was invited, and I just happened to bring my camera. Yeah. I met Michael because my friend Emilio Ramos, shout out Emilio, we love Emilio. Emilio and I met doing Transcendence in Sonoma.
Oh,
and we were like in the ensemble, like everyone was in the ensemble, but it was a Christmas show, and Emilio like played Rudolph, and we just did these rehearsals, and it was great, and became girls, and moved back to the city, and I was non-ec, and Emilio posted on their close friends like, hey, any non-ec actors want to help me out with some pre-pro stuff for the show that I'm working on? They didn't specify what show. I was like, I will do it. I'm not doing anything right now except getting my master's.
Except doing that little thing called getting my master's.
And Amelia was like, babe, of course. Sent me the information, was like, meet at Pearl Studios this time, this day. I was like, great. Still have no idea what the project is. I get there.
I'm like, I know what the project is. And I'm like, this is so exciting.
I get there. I walk in, and Jason Robert Brown, Georgia Stitt, Michael Arden are all sitting there. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And Amelia was like, babe, it's so lovely to see you. We're going to be working on Parade. And I was like, so fun.
You're like, so awesome.
So fun. And I did Parade in college.
Oh, right.
I understudied Leo Frank, which it's an educational setting. That's all I'll say. But I knew a lot about the show. Okay. So when we did the pre-pro and everything, I was like, great.
Okay,
yada, yada, yada.
Let me ask you one thing.
Ask me.
You knew Michael, though, at this point.
As an artist, but not as...
But not as a director?
No.
Or not as a friend?
I didn't know him as a friend, but I was a huge fan.
Of course. But when you when you walked into that room and you saw Michael, were you like, oh, and then like the connection just happened?
Well, one thing about Drew Elhamalawy is he be knowing what's going on. Like,
that's true.
I'm like, okay, so this person's directing this project that's happening 2 years from now.
I literally will call him sometimes. I'll be like, hey, so what's happening with this? He's like, oh, I got you.
Let me tell you.
I got you. I literally know that I can call you and be like,
what's the
I saw this is happening. What's actually happening? And you always somehow know. It's amazing.
It just it falls into my lap.
It literally falls into my lap. The title of that, it falls into my lap. Literally.
But no, I was a huge fan of Michael's. Like it's funny. I didn't know that I knew he directed Spring Awakening, and I saw that 3 times, I think.
Yeah, that show was amazing.
And then I saw Once on This Island, and I was like, this is unreal. Yeah. And I saw it again and again. And then I had the connection, like, oh my God, it's the same director. And then, of course, I was like, who is Michael Arden? Went down this rabbit hole. I was like, oh, so this man's a genius. So then when I walked into that room, I was like, oh shit. Shit's about to get crazy.
Yeah, you were like, I am here. Crazy.
And then we quickly became really, really, really great friends. Like, which is so refreshing because he makes art for such intentional reasons.
What I think is the coolest thing about your career thus far is that you have never stuck to like, I'm an actor, so I have to just be an actor.
Mm-hmm.
You are an actor, but I would say that that's like when I think of you, like when I close my eyes and I think of you, it's like, and I don't mean this in like a negative way, it's not the first thing that I think of.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just think that you, this is not the right way to say it. You happen to be an actor. Like, there's all of these other things.
For
and
sure.
like, you happen to also do this thing, which is
sure.
like the last, it's like it's like a fun reward.
It's like I get to act.
Yeah.
Which is why I want to do it. You know, like I feel like there is such, I was thinking about this the other day, like community theater exists because there are people who have jobs who want to act.
Yeah.
And
or
I just
want to, or they just like feel like this urge to, like they just like it.
I don't know. I think it's a personal thing where I'm the luckiest person in the world that I get to do it, you know, and I get to do it professionally.
You get to do it not casually, but you get to do it because it's not like this livelihood. I mean, it is livelihood, but like you have so many other things that when the performing comes around, it's intentional and it's always like,
that's what I was going to say. I never wanted to be the actor, and no disrespect, but I never wanted to be the actor who just said yes to everything. And we
relate so hard on that.
It just like, it's not for me. Yeah. It never was for me. I was very intentional about the art that I wanted to do. I've always been intentional about the art that I wanted to do. And honestly, like you can give me all the money in the world, and if the project isn't something that aligns with my morals, then I'm not going to do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel I see that.
I mean, segueing into We Live in Cairo, where it was like, when I got that job offer, I was like, I have to do this. Like, I need to do this for myself.
So We Live in Cairo is a brand new musical that I actually got to see.
Yeah.
And how long was that process?
I finished Queen of Versailles on August 28th, and I started rehearsals for We Live in Cairo on September 3rd.
Oh, okay.
So it was like I had a few day turnaround.
And it only just closed like recently.
Yeah, closed the day before Thanksgiving. There's actually a YouTube documentary called The Square that everyone should kind of go watch because I think it's relevant for any society. But our characters are kind of inspired by the characters in there. But yeah, it's a story that deals with like passion and grief and loss and love, the love for your country, the love for one another, the love for your culture.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. Can I say this? I feel like this project changed you.
Yeah.
For the better.
Yeah, for sure.
Not that you needed to be changed. I just think that when something like this comes around, I see something different in you, and like I see how this affected you.
Yeah, it did.
And I think that that's really special, because you know, like there's shows that you do and they're glitzy and glammy, and then there's shows that you do that are just like meaningful.
Yeah, I mean, I had to like, I made the commitment to like go there.
I love that everything that you've been a part of so far in your career has genuinely been like from the seed and like growing from there. And like, I mean, you know how lucky you are, but that's just really super special. And I think it's really colored how you've gone like approached everything. And
everything I've worked on has been a new work.
Yeah.
Which has been really
incredible.
Really cool.
Freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Share one fun fact from the Met Gala that you can share.
I walked Nicole Kidman, Keith Urban. Whoa. Nicole Kidman, Keith Urban, Doja Cat, and whoever her boyfriend was at the time, to dinner, which was pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Okay.
Another fact is, after we performed, Ariana Grande brought all of her dancers into her dressing room and gifted us little crew necks that said, "We headlined the fucking Met Gala, bitch."
Yeah, that's pretty sick. That's pretty sick.
And for you Wicked fans out there, Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande were having a moment in the hallway, and I just happened to like be there with my little disposable camera, and I like took a photo for them and I posted it and I sent it to Ari.
Did you? Oh, you posted it?
I posted it and then archived it real quick because I signed an NDA.
Oh.
But last week I unarchived it. Don't come for me. It hasn't been a year.
We won't include that. We won't include the picture. We won't include the picture. You'll have to.
I'm
go
not
find
scared.
That
they
yourself.
want that photo.
Anyways, so to finish off our show, I want to ask you kind of this question. What does success look like to you today? And how has that changed since you've entered into the industry?
Success to me is about balance and self-fulfillment and like creative fulfillment. And I think the way that I define success can be a few different ways. Number one, start a project, finish a project. Then I think that's success. I also think that like you can start a project and if you're not being fulfilled by it, quit a project respectfully. Quit a project, and that can be defined as a success. You know, like I'm never going to like put my own heart on the line. Like I'll put my heart on the line and if it's worth it. But if your heart's not in it, then don't put your hand on it. Does that make sense?
If your heart's not in it, then don't put your hand on it. Yeah, that makes sense. I think you're trying to say like don't just do things because you think it's the thing to do.
Right.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I think that's how I would define success for Drew.
Well, Drew, thank you for coming on the podcast.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
I'm so grateful. Tell everybody where they can find you because you have
so many Instagrams. And I feel like you are like the king of like the spam account, even though I don't consider Drew X 3000 right
a spam account.
Yeah, it's kind of like a digital scrapbook.
Oh,
if you like to laugh a little bit, you can find me at Drew Elhamalawy on Instagram or Drew X Photography. You spell Elhamalawy ELHAMALAWY. It's really fun to write in cursive.
Try it sometime.
Yeah, that's it from me.
All right. Thank you, Drew.
Peace
and
out.
We will see you next time on the Unlearning Podcast. Bye.
Woo! Wait, podcasts are so fun.
Yeah.